Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Corey Kaufman, coming to you live once again via Zoom and being socially distant as recommended.
Today we're going to talk about another great nonprofit organization that is ready to help Long Islanders during and after the coronavirus pandemic.
Please say hello to our guest, Paule Pachter, the Chief Executive Officer at Long Island Cares. Paul, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you so much, Bill. It's a pleasure to be with you and Corey today.
Paul, first of all, the main question, how are you doing personally during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, I'm doing okay. We're a little busy here for the past 3 months, but so far we're all doing fine, all with the exception of one staff member tested negative for the virus. So we're okay, and the one staff person that did has recovered. And so, it's just a very, very busy time right now at Long Island Cares. It's been that way for 3 months. I don't know when it's going to end, but
well, the good news is one person and they recovered. We have that, and hopefully it'll be one and done.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Corey?
So tell us, what is Long Island Cares all about?
Well, Long Island Cares is the regional food bank for Nassau and Suffolk County. As you may recall, we were founded 39 years ago by Harry Chapin, the singer, songwriter, and social activist. And what we do is we provide emergency food and other support services to some 375 member agencies throughout the region. These are your local food pantries, soup kitchens, daycare programs, congregate care living programs, in addition to providing a network of direct service programs which deal with career counseling, job placement, veteran services, and more.
You make it sound so simple, just reading it off, but that sounds like enough in 2 months to keep everybody going for a year.
Well, it's kept us going for 40 years.
40, but 40 years without pandemic, kind of overlapping in there. During this time, how have you ever been able to keep up with the demand? Just so much, I guess, literally hours from morning to afternoon, what you do and your suppliers and people have changed.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a 6-day operation since March 13th. When we started this on March 13th, we decided to employ our model of satellite centers. Long Island Cares operates 5 of our own pantries, plus a pet pantry. We have satellite centers in Freeport, 2 in Lindenhurst, 1 in Huntington Station, and our newest one, which opened March 1st in Hampton Bays. So what we decided to do was to have people come to our satellite centers. If they needed food, they needed pet food, they needed other supports. We have 6 locations that you can go to, including Hop Hog. We opened up the warehouse in Hop Hog. We also have a warehouse in Hampton Bays. So we're able to distribute food to our member agencies easily and more convenient for them. That model of using our satellite centers took off, caught the attention of Nassau County, of the town of Hempstead. And so today, we now have 25 pop-up food bank distribution centers throughout Long Island. So
let me just repeat that. Paul, did you say 25?
25. As of today, we have been very, very fortunate to see our private donations and our corporate donations in the last 3 months reach to a level that we haven't seen in raising money for an entire year. We've literally raised as much money in 1 year just in the past 3 months. And the support, the financial support, is coming in from all over the country for this organization. So with those additional funds, we were able to hire an additional 30 temporary staff members. So on March 12th, where we were 53, we're now 83, working out of 25 different locations. And we've been able to keep up with it because we've hired some, very, very talented people. The only issue we've really had since March is the supply chain for food. Long Island Cares purchases about 75% of all the food that we distribute to the community. So we're in the same basket as your national supermarket chains. We buy from the same distributors that they do. And the supply chain, when there isn't a global pandemic, you're usually 2-3 weeks out. Now they're 4 to 6 weeks out. So it's been difficult bringing food into Hop Hog for the past 3 months, but it's getting better now. We're really looking at about a 3 to 4 week delay. Now that, the various states are reopening, people are getting back to work. So it's getting a little better. But, for the past 3 months, it's been nonstop packing food boxes, getting food boxes out to people. We're doing hundreds of home deliveries every month. We're working now with Suffolk County and 2 townships, Smithtown and Islip, to do home deliveries there for the seniors. And so there's a lot of people. Right now, we are looking at more than 50,000 people that have turned to Long Island Cares in the first 3 months of COVID-19. And these are 50,000 people that have never stepped foot into a food pantry before. In fact, many of them, as they visited the locations, have said to us, I donate to you. I send you a check every year. I've supported your food drives. And now, I find myself in a position where I need your help. So, that's been very rewarding for us. Of course, the fundraising has been extremely gratifying. But this is 6 days a week, 24 hours a day. The cell phone rings, it's rang in the middle of the night already from people trying to get in touch with us.
What an empowering position. You are, when you were a little boy, did you ever think of someday I'll go to work and say 1,000 lives that day or 2,000 lives? That's amazing. No, seriously, I commend you. For you, it's easy. It's what you do, but looking at you and saying you're a hero. You're with medical professionals out there, because if people don't have food, they're not going to be around too long.
That's, and I think, Bill, that's what has fed the increase in support. I was saying this the other day at a press conference with Nassau County Executive Curran. If you look at the heroes, quote unquote, the heroes that people are talking about, of course, it's the doctors and the nurses and the EMS. And right behind that, the food banks have emerged. From the first visual on CNN or wherever it was of 1,000 cars lined up in a parking lot to get a box of food, it really elevated the profile of the food banks. And so we decided that this was a unique situation to be in, and how can we do our best work, and for lack of a better word, capitalize on the generosity of people who now discovered, oh, there's a food bank. Some people didn't even know we existed, and yet we've been here for 40 years. So now things have really changed. Our profile has been elevated, to a degree where people throughout the country are just making donations to food banks.
And Paul, I know I'm eating into Corey's next question, but I think this is so important. Someone who's hearing this, if they want to or need to take part, and they might say, well, I was an executive 3 months ago and now I need this. Do they call? Do they drive up? Or do they ask for something specific? How does someone go about it? Or if we see our neighbors in need, what is the procedure we should know about?
Well, I think the best way for people to access the support that Long Island Cares has to offer is to give us a call. There are 25 locations throughout the island where you can pick up food from Long Island Cares. You can call us. We'll tell you where the location is. Many people in the community are aware of the locations now. We have, I think, 16 in the town of Hempstead alone. And so they're doing a lot of promotion on, where they are. I know we have a full-page ad coming out this week in Newsday on Thursday that lists all the sites. So people just have to come. There's a site open every day. Usually they're open for 4 hours, 3 hours. For instance, on one day, there could be 3 or 4 sites open in different places. So there's enough resources for people to go to. One of the things that we do is we distribute government commodities to people in need through the USDA. And in order to administer that program, which we've been doing for decades now, we have to vet everybody that comes to us. It's not just, come over, we'll give you a box, have a nice day. No, it's come over, sit and talk to us, tell us why you're here, what's going on, what else do you need beside the food, how could we help you? And that's the way that we've been able to emerge as one of the few places right now across the country that has an unduplicated number. We know exactly how food insecurity has increased on Long Island, and we're having a press conference Thursday to roll out the numbers to the media, because it's up. It's clearly up, maybe not as high as it is in other states, because Long Island is just 2 counties. So there's more going on in the 5 boroughs of New York City than is going on Long Island. But in other states like California and Michigan and, Texas, they're big states. New York has 10 food banks. Long Island cares, deals with Nassau and Suffolk. The numbers for Nassau and Suffolk are up substantially. And we're seeing it across all economic backgrounds. We're seeing it, the number of children, the number of adults, the number of seniors. We're tracking all of that. So we know what we're in for the next 6 months.
Thank you so much, Corey.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're learning about a nonprofit organization that is ready to help Long Islanders during and after the coronavirus pandemic, with our guest, Paule Pachter, the Chief Executive Officer at Long Island Cares. So what type of food donations are you accepting? Are there have any rules changed since the pandemic started about what you're allowed and not allowed to accept?
That's an excellent question, Corey. What happened on March 13th when we implemented the COVID-19 response plan, we knew that because of stay-at-home orders, because of the need to socially isolate, quarantine, that we were probably not going to see many food drives taking place because people weren't going out. And frankly, people who would want to donate to a food drive would have to go to the supermarket and buy the product. And as you probably know, the supermarket shelves were empty. In fact, many of them still are empty today, especially with paper goods and cleaning supplies. So our food drive manager, Billy Ganyu, came up with the idea of doing virtual food drives. And we partnered with the organization called YouGiveGoods.com. And we promoted that we were going to do virtual food drives. In other words, you could log on to YouGiveGoods.com. You could see the menu of food that's available and that's needed. You could purchase an individual item, or you could purchase a family box. So family boxes were $25 and $50. You could buy as many as you want. We've raised over 100,000 pounds of food in May alone. We're partnering with Walk Radio, K-Joy Radio, Congresswoman Kathleen Rice, and a host of other people. I think Billy told me the other day there are 116 sponsors of virtual food drives for Long Island Cares right now on You Give Goods. And yesterday, YouGiveGoods.com announced the very first Virtual Excellence Award. We broke all records on YouGiveGoods.com with the amount of food that's coming here. And so every day as I walk the warehouse, there are these boxes with the You Give Goods logo on it, and it's just coming in. So food drives, where we thought they would be down in comparison to last year, because of the virtual drives, are now up in comparison to last year.
Paul, we usually don't give people the opportunity to give a shout out, but your work is so important, and it sounds like you're working with a lot of great people. Is there anybody you want to special shout out, whether a politician, a restaurateur, a celebrity that's been extremely helpful to you, or maybe just one of your people who work with you day in and day out?
Well, if I had a shout out for my staff, I'd have to shout out, 83 names.
It would be like a graduation.
Yeah, but I will take the opportunity to thank New York State Assemblywoman Michaelle Salages from the Valley Stream Elmont community. She was instrumental in being the first one to come to us and say, look, what can we do in my community? I know there's going to be very high needs. And with her support, we were able to open up a pop-up distribution center in Valley Stream at the Valley Stream Presbyterian Church that opened up on a Saturday for 4 hours. We saw lines of people coming, and now we've just increased it to 2 days a week. So, leadership like that means a great deal. She's been a great partner. It's been promoted that, Billy Joel is supporting our COVID-19 relief fund. He's been great. He's helped us out at our Hampton Bays satellite. And, I think all of us here at Long Island Cares have been inspired by Governor Cuomo and the way he's managed this pandemic, this crisis. I know people right now are struggling with, social distancing fatigue and self-isolation fatigue, and they want the state to open up. But if you look what's going on in 21 other states that opened up prematurely without any good plans, those people are going to suffer what New York State suffered 3 months ago. So I guess those three people I would shout out.
It's nice of you to give the encouragement and the praise to them. And it's always easy for us to pick on politicians, but here's some of the work we don't see. We see them putting the cornerstone in a building or raising a flag. But sometimes the background work really is great. And it's great to know that some of our local politicians, and this is you as someone who appreciates it. So it's not a political type thing. It's someone seeing work that's literally saving lives. So again, thanks so much.
If someone is in need of food, could you just walk us through the process a little bit? Mm-hmm. Is there a place they can go or a number that they have to call to find out where food is being distributed?
People can call us at 631-582-FOOD, or they can log on to our website at licares.org. And the 25 locations, the pop-up distribution centers, are all listed there. And all they have to do is go. There's no appointments needed. Just go on the day and time they're open. If you need to, and you can come once a week. And, if you need to go to more than one place because you have a larger family, that's okay too. We're going to give food out until we run out of it, and I don't anticipate that we're going to run out of it.
Well, you mentioned that, the food you give out, but I know there's also a need for other things like diapers. You mentioned pet food, some of the things we might not think of, and people may have. Maybe sometimes a pet has to be put down or a pet passes away. Mm-hmm. They may have excess food. Are there other areas that literally it might be sitting in our closet or our garage and we could donate to your organization or help out, or some things we might not think of? So can you open some mystery doors for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, Bill, Long Island Cares operates a program called Baxter's Pet Pantry. It is a freestanding pet pantry in Lindenhurst, next door to our satellite there, where we provide pet food and pet supplies to families in need. We also accept donations of cleaning supplies, personal care products. And if people have those kind of things that they're able to donate, as long as they're new, we're happy to take them. I mean, currently, between Suffolk County, Nassau County, and New York State, we have a pretty good supply of PPEs, and we are providing that to people in the community. We're providing it to our member agencies. We're providing it every time we do a home delivery to seniors. We're giving them hand sanitizers, disinfectant wipes, protective masks. So, we're able to provide that as well for people who need it. So the important thing is that if people find the location where we're, operating, they simply need to come.
Well, I think that's great. And it's thanks to people like you who are getting out there, giving away the hand sanitizers, the personal protective equipment that we might need that might help someone. Yeah. All it takes is one or two to start the spread, and we're back where we were. So, again, you're going to hear the word thank you a lot, but I'm sorry I have to keep saying it to you. Corey?
Fine.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're learning about a non-profit organization that is ready to help Long Islanders during and after the coronavirus pandemic with our guest, Paule Pachter, the Chief Executive Officer at Long Island Cares. So are you accepting monetary donations for people who may not be able to donate food?
Yes, of course. People can, there are three things, Corey, that people can donate. Donate your money, donate your time, donate your support, in any way you can. You can donate food, money, or your time. And, just this past Saturday, we had dozens of volunteers in our parking lot. Together, they packed 2,100 food boxes that went out already Monday to the pop-up centers. And we have small groups of volunteers now, about 6 to 10, who are coming in weekly to help pack food boxes here. If people want to come and volunteer, that's wonderful. We do have volunteers in the satellite centers that we operate. If you want to write a check, that's fine. If you want to donate food, that's fine too.
You're full service with that. We can do it any which way we want, right?
We give people choices.
Now,
and what is a virtual food drive? I heard you held some during the pandemic. Are they still happening?
Yes, they are going to happen and continue for the next few months, probably till the end of the year. What people can do is you can go on the website yougivegoods.com. Once you get there, you can search for Long Island Cares, and up will come the menu and all the virtual food drives that are being sponsored by people to support Long Island Cares and the Harry Chapin Food Bank.
Paul, you mentioned the Lindenhurst location before, the pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us that and some physically where some of the locations are? Again, if people are thinking or they may not even know you are in their neighborhood or nearby. So I'd like them to know it or close by if there's a senior or someone who needs some help that they could recommend.
Sure. Our Lindenhurst satellite is located at 163-1 North Wellwood Avenue. Baxter's Pet Pantry is located at 161 North Wellwood Avenue. Our Freeport satellite is at 22 East Sunrise Highway in Freeport. Our Huntington Station satellite is at 220 Broadway in Huntington Station. And our Hampton Bays satellite is at 286 West Montauk Highway in Hampton Bays. And then, of course, there are 19 other locations in the town of Hempstead and the city of Long Beach. They are in Elmont, Floral Park, Uniondale, Hempstead, Roosevelt, Freeport, Levittown, East Meadow, Lawrence, Baldwin. They're all over the place.
And before we get caught up in a time factor, is there a website or a phone number you wish to give out that if people want to get in touch with you after the show, whether it's to donate, to take part, or to receive some of the foods that you have,
sure.
Would you give that to us?
Yeah. Our number is very easy to remember. It's 631-582-FOOD. So that would be 631-582-3663, or log on to our website at licares.org. All of the information about our COVID-19 response is published on the website.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Corey.
What are the plans for the immediate future to make sure no one goes hungry on Long Island, especially during this pandemic?
Well, as I mentioned, the 25 pop-up distribution centers that we're operating right now, those will continue through the end of the year. As we're talking, I'm seeing notes that we're getting calls from people who would like us to open up a pop-up in their neighborhood. We're going to consider it. We'll discuss it with the town of Hempstead because they are funding 16 of the pop-ups, and we'll see what happens. We're working with Suffolk County, I think I mentioned, where we're doing home deliveries with the town of Smithtown and the town of Islip. We are looking to open up a pop-up in the village of Babylon. Right now. Hopefully we'll get that done by next week. But this is going to be a long-term response. We anticipate that the need for emergency food will be at this level at least for the next 6 months. Right now we're seeing people who are slowly going back to work, but I think that the economic experts, the economists, the labor experts have predicted that about 1/3 of everyone who was furloughed or laid off is unfortunately not going to go back to work. Zoom is a great thing. Working at home and telecommuting is a great thing. And many businesses have decided that this is a very effective and economically effective way to keep their costs down. And so they will not need as much staff as they needed before, March. So that's going to have an impact. The fact that we're going to see unemployment at double digits for the next few months is going to result in more people turning to the food bank and to food pantries for emergency food assistance.
Paul, is there a feel-good story that you're always going to remember, whether it happened yesterday or 3 weeks ago, just that more or less motivates and keeps you going, knowing what a great job you're doing?
Well, there's been, I think every time we're able to provide food assistance to people in need, that's a feel-good story. We get lots of emails, lots of letters from people thanking us, especially the seniors. The seniors who, because of their high-risk situations, really shouldn't be out, whether they can social distance or not. So, currently we deliver food to 1,758 seniors to their houses every single month. And they are so thankful. I mean, recently, not only did we deliver food, as I said, we delivered masks, we delivered these sanitizer, the disinfectant wipes, and the seniors were just so appreciative of what we've been able to do. And the folks at Valley Stream Presbyterian Church, the congregation, they're running the show. We show up there on a Saturday and a Wednesday with 2 staff people, and they have a dozen volunteers waiting. These are neighbors helping neighbors, and this is really what Long Island Cares is all about.
Paul, you're truly a lifesaver, and I just want to say on behalf of anybody listening, you can join Paul in his life-saving efforts, whether it's just $1, 10, 100, whatever you can afford, even change, or maybe run a little campaign in the neighborhood to help out. You're saving lives. They're Long Islanders. They're your neighbors, your friends, and as you've heard from Paul talking, it might be you someday. It might be me. It might be any of us. So it's good we have people like Paule Pachter out there. I'd like our audience to know today our guest has been the Chief Executive Officer of Long Island Cares, Mr. Paule Pachter. You've been listening to him. Paul, thank you for the work you've been doing. Thanks on behalf of all Long Islanders, and know that WHPC is always here to help out any way we can. Thank you so much,
Bill. Thank you, Corey.
I'd like our audience to know I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman. We want to thank you for listening to this week's edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.